Yo, what's going on everyone? FreakyDude99 here, and it's Thursday, February 9th, which means we're talking the TWAB. Let's just get right into it. This week at Bungie, we're talking about changes to abilities, Strand, and a few other tidbits that we think you should know before Lightfall arrives later this month. Before we get into the heart of this week's TWAB, here's a brief recap of what we talked about in last week's blog post. A recap of our most recent Lightfall Exotics preview, a deeper look into the upcoming weapon changes, a heads up on the 24-hour maintenance downtime window that kicks off on February 27th, 2023 at 9 AM PST, a message from Black Hat Bungie, and more. If you haven't already, feel free to mosey on over and check out what else you may have missed after reading this TWAB, of course. It'd be rude to leave now, come on. Here's a brief overview of what we're diving into this week. We're catching up on the latest Strand details, diving into performance issues tied to latency, particularly Crucible, getting creeped out with the latest creepy crawly Festival of the Lost voting, and figuring out where we're going next in Trials of Osiris, looking at the latest in Prime Gaming loot to snag, and taking a closer look at the VFX integration of Strand and how that relates to Destiny, and previewing a few other snippets we think you should know. Now, on to the TWAB. Now, of course, if you haven't known, on Monday, February 6th, a devastating 7.8 magnitude earthquake struck southern Turkey near the Syrian border. Hours later, the region was hit again by 7.5 magnitude aftershock. Cities across Turkey and Syria lie in destruction. Over 11,000 have been killed, with many more presumed dead, and hundred thousands are seeking refuge during the freezing winter months. The hearts of the entire team at Bungie go out to all those impacted by this heartbreaking disaster. Since the news broke, the Bungie Foundation and teams across the studio have been actively working to develop a support plan to deliver aid and care to the people and family in the region. Today we are announcing our plan to help those in Turkey and Syria, and we are asking the Bungie community to join us. The generosity of our community during Game to Give 2022 has enabled us to pledge $50,000 each to our partners at Direct Relief and the International Rescue Committee. These funds will be put to immediate use. These organizations are already supporting the effort in the region. Direct Relief has committed an initial $1 million in aid to support search and rescue operations and healthcare organizations in both countries, and have already begun to mobilize its medical aid deliveries that will be critical in treating traumatic injuries caused by falling debris, crush injuries, fractures, and more. The International Rescue Committee, IRC, is scaling up their response to support affected communities in both Turkey and Syria, which will include the provision of immediate cash, basic items, and hygiene supplies. More than 1,000 IRC staff members in Syria are providing life-saving healthcare and other support. Call to action. We are asking the Bungie community to join us in supporting the humanitarian aid effort in this region. A special emblem has been designed to show your support for the relief efforts, Compassion Concentric. It will be available to all Guardians who donate $25 or more at the Bungie Quake website. All funds raised during this campaign will go directly to the Direct Relief and the IRC. The Compassion Concentric emblem was created for humanitarian aid purposes. It was inspired by our desire to help communities in times of need and to create a sense of common support for those who use it and see it. Our community always shows up in times of need, and the people in the Turkey and Syria need a Guardian's light now more than ever. Thank you so much for your generosity and support. Love, the Bungie Foundation. Make sure to donate if you can. Of course, if you can't donate, don't put too much mental weight on yourself, but if you can donate, please do, because, this affects a large-scale community of everyone, not just, Destiny, but these are real people that are affected, and it's in times like these where it's really important that we show and we do our best to try and prove that we can help even from here, even if it's as little as donating some dollars. So if you ever thought to yourself, I'd really like to get my Spider-Man on, but make it green, then you're in luck. Strand is swinging its way into Destiny 2 with Lightfall, and to celebrate the upcoming launch, we dove deep into what this new subclass will have to offer with a nifty standalone article and a shiny new trailer. Here's a brief recap of all the radioactive green goodness that was shared earlier this week from Strand. new terms to learn like suspend, unravel, and sever, a breakdown of what Strand looks like for all classes, a first look at new fragments, and a few other pieces of the Lightfall puzzle that we think you'll enjoy. If you missed the trailer or just want to watch it again, which we get it, check out the glorious green goodness below that is Strand. We need to talk about latency. Earlier this season, we started investigating a new latency issue, the end effect. You would see in one or more players standing against a wall or not taking any damage for several seconds, teleporting across the map, and possibly killing you. After learning that this could even happen in private matches, we were able to eliminate the new matchmaking changes as possible cause. We then looked at a new feature as the possible culprit, and after ruling those out, we started looking at external sources. Valve has constantly been making improvements to its Steam Datagram Relay SDR service to provide safe, high-quality Destiny 2 connections. In this case, they found new relays which were not configured properly and severely impacted network quality between players during peak hours. The problematic relay was taken offline at 3 p.m. last Friday pending a more thorough investigation, and this appears to have resolved the immediate issue for players, a breakdown of connection changes since the start of Season 19. While this doesn't show all latency problems in the game, it has fixed this particularly thorny issue that has plagued the game since the start of Season 19. In our own investigations, we have also found a few hidden bugs that should be fixed with Lightfall. These should improve network quality even further for players with good network connections. We love to hear that. The more the servers improve and the more stability we get, hey, that's just better for us. With great Strand power comes great fashionability. For those who are looking to make other Guardians a little green with envy when it comes to your fashion sense, we've got good news. When Lightfall launches, every item that changes its appearance based on your currently equipped subclass will be compatible with Strand. Whether it's a piece of Solstice armor from last year's past, or a favorite finisher, or one of our new subclass-based emotes, you'll be able to express yourself in Strand colors when you're using a Strand subclass. So here's the subclass agnostic legendary finishers. Ooh! Let's watch that again. So a previous finisher has just been given the Strand effect. So where every other class finisher just has it just changes the color of the explosion. As you can see, Strand, whoa, the Solstice armor. Ooh. Oh, the Hunter, those look so clean. That looks amazing. Wow. Wow. That looks absolutely amazing. This also applies to the Ghost Fist Bump exotic emote, Antaeus wards and ornaments, no backup plans and ornaments, ooh, and ghost projections. Ooh, that's strange. For those of you who prefer function over fashion, weird but alright, good news! The following armor and weapon perks will also be compatible with Strand when applicable come Lightfall. Elemental Capacitor, I think we learned about that. Osmosis, we learned about. Oh, Explosive Payload, what? Dragonfly, Cluster Bombs, Chain Reaction, Chromatic Fires, Crystalline Transistor, Mantle of Battle Harmonies, Absorption Cells, the Bombardier's Parting Gift, ooh, Bombardier, Verity Brows, the Fourth Magic, and Fellwinter's Helm, Warlord's End, and more as a possibility in the future post-launch. Crazy! They are going way harder than they did with Stasis. Start thinking about how you'll weave these fashion updates into your transmog and perk updates into your loadout for the next step of Destiny 2's story. Callus is clearly upping his fashion game, it's only fair we do the same, damn right. Does this update resonate with you? Some early warning for folks looking to prepare for weapon crafting in Lightfall. As part of an initiative to integrate weapon crafting into the Border Core economy, we will be completely removing Resonant Element from the game. What? Standard currencies such as Glimmer, Enhancement Cores, etc. will replace the element costs that exist today. We'll also be removing the Deep Sight Attunement objective altogether. What? Resonant and Harmonic allies will still be used at launch, however we are planning to overhaul these currencies later in the Lightfall year. Ascendant allies will remain as is for now. Much of this info is hot off the presses, so apologies for the late warning. Whoa! We will be completely removing Resonant Element from the game. stats. So Resonant Element, of course, is whenever you complete a deep sight weapon, you get 300 Resonant Element, and then if you were to dismantle it, you would just get 100. So they're fully replacing the costs, and they're probably just upping the Glimmer Enhancement Core costs, which we need a Glimmer cap increase. And then they're removing the Deep Sight Attunement objective altogether. I mean, I guess if weapons that don't have patterns, if we're not grinding materials, then we don't need them. That's interesting. This is going to play out quite interestingly. Of course, this is kind of coming from a previous update where they talked about how they were going to kind of help weapon crafting be a little bit better with making it so you could have multiple perks on your weapon. You just buy them and unlock them, and you can switch between instead of having to pay each time for a rework or reperk. So, very interesting news. That is very, very, very hot off the press. Prime day for some Prime Gaming. Guardians, it's time to snag some extra gear for your Lightfall adventures. For those space magic wielding players that are a part of the Prime Gaming Club, we got a new bundle. You got the Sunshot Exotic Hand Cannon, the Red Dwarf Sunshot Weapon Ornament, the Jotunir Exotic Sparrow, and the Seraph Ghost Projection, and an additional surprise. Interesting. For anyone that may need a refresher, Prime Gaming is a program from Amazon Prime that offers Guardians a select few of exotics and legendary goods to unlock. It's super easy to use too, just sign up for your Prime Gaming account, yada 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 yada. We asked, you answered, and things got creepy crawly. We asked Guardians to weigh in on what they wanted for this year's Festival of the Lost and what's the next Trials of Osiris map should be, but first let's talk about those creepy crawlies. Spiders versus beetles. Why did spiders take out beetles nearly across the board when it came down to player votes? Probably because they're more acclimated to living on the web. Bad puns aside, Spider Chick took the win despite the intriguing look of beetle fashion. We did things differently this year by allowing Guardians to vote for each class, and that seemed to work out well. Here's a breakdown of last Festival of the Lost voting and where exactly Team Beetle lost the fight. Hunters had 56% of the vote for Team Spider. Titans also said they were Team Spider with a whopping 72%. Oh, Titans, we agree on one thing, huh? And Warlocks broke the mode altogether with Team Beetle taking 53%. Yeah, honestly, the Beetle Warlock looks really cool and could have some really cool glow effects. Let's get creepy. As for Trials, drumroll please, the winner is Radiant Cliffs with 44% of the total votes in the Trials map of choice starting tomorrow at reset. See you this weekend, Guardians. On to Player Support Report. Bring back the Prismatic Recaster. We missed the Helm Hot Tub. I missed the Helm Hot Tub too. This is the weekly spot to see what's coming down the pipeline regarding updates to the game and known issue. Turns out some heroes do still wear capes, looking at you Hunter mains on Player Support. But regardless of the fashion choices of our illustrious team, here's what we got for you this week. The Destiny Content Vault update. The Destiny Content Vault guide has been updated with information on what activities, vendors, and destinations will enter the DCV with the launch of Lightfall. Expansion content will no longer be added to the DCV. Players can expect all Season 16 to 19 content to enter the DCV, excluding the Season 16 PsyOps Battlegrounds and the Season 19 Heist Battlegrounds, which will instead be added to the Vanguard Ops playlist starting in Season 20. Amazing to hear because those are two really fun activities. Items being depreciated at the start of Year 6. With the start of Lightfall on February 28th, 2023, Destiny 2 will transition from Year 5 to 6. At this time, certain items will become depreciated and no longer available to use. For a full list of items going away at the start of Year 6, please click here. So, the quick list, all bounties, missions, and quests from Season of the Risen, Season of Haunted, Season of Plunder, and Season of the Seraph, all ritual and pinnacle weapon quests and ornaments. This gear will be moved to the Monument to Lost Light's Exotic Archive. Psychogenic Intel, Risen Umbral Energy, Insight, all of the seasonal items, Vestiges of Dread, pretty much everything that we used in the last 4 seasons. And as well as, they say, destination materials. These will be depreciated and must be manually discarded from players' inventories. So all destination materials might be going, at least based on what that says. Known issues. While we continue investigating various known issues, here's a complete list of the latest issues we are reporting to us in our help forum. Players who receive a lever penalty in competitive division may be unable to launch into the playlist once their lever penalty has expired. This can be resolved by swapping characters and playing another match in that playlist. VFX from the Symmetry exotic perk Revolution may continue to display for players once the weapon is stowed. The Push the Objective Crucible bounty does not gain progress in momentum control. Daily Crucible bounties for capturing zones in control are unable to be completed when Iron Banner is active. And the requirements for the completion of the Week 9 Icy Singularity Seasonal Challenge are incorrectly listed in its description. Players must defeat with Void or Stasis effects during Gambit matches in order to progress this challenge. For a full list of emergent issues, you can check out the Known Issues article. Moving on to Movie of the Week. Now, how do I tag MOTW or AOTW? We've noticed that the standard hashtag MOTW or hashtag AOTW tags are starting to get a little convoluted with other content, some a little less appropriate than others. To make sure that your submissions are seen online by the wider community, we want to encourage the use of Destiny 2 AOTW and Destiny 2 MOTW going forward. Make sure you do this if you are submitting artwork for the Movie of the Week or Art of the Week. Artificial Intelligence or AI art. Last week, an AI art submission was mistakenly featured in our blog. The process of choosing these involves a team effort, and with this technology being so new, we didn't have a foolproof way of knowing what submissions are AI art. We want to keep this celebration of our community for those who work hard to bring their creative selves to the forefront when creating works that the traveler would find joy in. Because of this, we will not knowingly ever feature AI art submissions as a potential hashtag Destiny 2 Art of the Week or Movie of the Week winner. That being said, this is still new. We ask for grace if we mistakenly feature a submission generated by AI, and a respectful heads up should it ever happen again in the future. Appreciate the assist. Friends that join in. Emblems take time, and we've seen instances where 2 to 3 folks working on a video suddenly turn into 20 or more, and often the same names circulate with a significant number of submissions that are unrelated to one another. To keep these going, something needed to change. The same rule still applies from before. Any person involved must be listed in the original posting for Destiny 2 Art of the Week and Movie of the Week submissions. Late additions will not be included. However, we're adding one more thing to note. Please ensure that all Bungie profiles are included in the initial post. Threads at the same time are fine. And that the number of creators does not exceed 7. We hope this change will keep the process of awarding the art and movie emblems honest and something that indicates the celebration of our community. Now on to said community. I think that's a fantastic change. And then of course for the Movie of the Week, someone completed Grandmaster Birthplace of the Vile in 8 minutes and 47 seconds. That is insanely quick for a really hard Nightfall. And that's a wrap on another TWAB. Nightfall will be here before we know it, and we know that many of you still have more questions. Don't worry, we've still got a few more things to share before February 28th, but until then, make sure you're drinking that water, keeping up that self-care, and we're leading with your kindest foot forward. Until next time, friends, I should go hippie. Now, this is a great article. I have to say a lot of good news here. I think the updates for the Art of the Week are great. Of course, Destiny Content Vault and that stuff is... You can go and double check that just to make sure that you know what's exactly leaving. The armor sets for Festival of the Lost. Of course, Hunters and Titans won with the Spider, but Warlocks, yeah. I think it was a great TWAB. This is a great read through. Thank you so much for watching. I think the hypest thing has to be finishers and armor glows changing to update with Strand. But of course, we'll actually see when Strand drops. And the latency update, that's awesome. Alrighty, thank you so much for watching. This has been FreakyDude99. I hope you have a fantastic day. And of course, we'll see you in the next video. Have a great evening.